It's 4 years of medical school if you're a civilian almost the entire time. Then you do residency, either civilian or military. And then you serve basically what amounts to 4 years of military time when it's all over. Okay? So right now, I mean, I haven't shaven the last couple of days, I probably should have, but I don't have to, you're not obligated. I'm on reserves right now. When you're activated for 45 days per year, okay, while you're in medical school, one of those times you're going to go to training. So whatever bench you're with, you go to training with them. The second time you get activated is most probably to study for your boards. So you're at home studying for the boards, active duty, but nobody would ever know. The next 2 times you're in a hospital doing a rotation that you would do anyway. So instead of doing it at a civilian hospital, you're at a military hospital on active duty. So that's your whole obligation while you're in medical school. They don't ask you to do much. They don't talk to you except deposit money in your bank account every 2 weeks. And then residency, they have a pretty big say in where you can end up. And after that, if you military hospital, you're military for the 4 years and then you serve your time. Otherwise, you go to civilian hospital and do residency for 4 years.
Dentist, so we go to our basic officer leadership course the summer of your first year of medical school. Almost everybody except for the exception right here. So most people do that. And but dental students, veterinary students, they do it in between the time that they graduate and when they go off and serve their payback time. So also, like, we owe 4 years, and I think you might owe 3 years because they pay for 3 years of school. Like, there's all these little things, and if you want to do surgery, it's a 6-year residency, so you owe 6 years. So it's like all these little things that go with it. But that one person, you know, she had already had them pay for 4 years of school, so she already owed them the time. And so it was too late for her by the time she figured out she hated it. There might be some loopholes, I don't know, but you shouldn't get into it if you don't like getting dirty.
Also, she might have hated just like the training part, because I mean she's a dentist, right? So her job will be to take care of people's like, teeth. Like, that's her.
Everybody has to do
her hair back, but of course we gotta get it cut. But I mean, but aside from that, like her job will be being a dentist.
Day. Now I'm on campus studying all day. It's not just for several hours, but pretty much I'm there at 8 a.m. when my classes start. Classes get out at noon. I take my hour lunch break, and I study until 5, sometimes later, depending on what we went through. And you never leave the studying alone. You're always working on something, a project, and that was kind of the transition that I had to make of and being more efficient with my time than I had been before.
I had a little bit of a buffer. I went to a master's program after undergrad and before medical school. So for me, it was kind of like undergrad, then you bump it up from master's, and medical school's a whole new level. And for those of you that are thinking about that, I think it was fantastic for me. It made my first year much more comfortable. It made my second year much more comfortable. But yeah, medical school is not undergrad. You're studying all day, or when you're at the gym, you're kind of like thinking about, hey, what about this, or what about that? You know, that's just the way it is. I'm sitting here right now thinking of yesterday's questions. Yeah, it's fun though. I think you'll love it. And the thing about it though is,
No, sorry, please continue.
everybody around you is doing the exact same thing. I mean, you'll pass somebody in the hallway and your conversation is, hey, what was yesterday's? Oh, it was B. Okay, good. You know, and nobody thinks it's crazy. That's how it is. And when everybody's doing it, it just becomes kind of fun, at least for me.
A couple of things. I think I was just used to studying constantly, so I didn't have as much of a transition that way. But coming from a small school, I was used to like reading textbooks like front to back, and a lot of our tests were like essay based. So I did a lot of like reading and writing, and whereas in med school I transitioned to doing a lot of practice questions, and I had to kind of give up reading textbooks because it just wasn't an efficient use of my time. So like the types of like tools that I used to study changed. But I do want to add, like some people make it sound like there's this huge jump from like undergrad to med school, but I think if you're already used to studying all day, like just being a really good student, being dedicated, you'll be ready for that next step. And in undergrad, like all my classes were different, so I had a neuroscience course, I had an environmental studies course, I had an art class, a music class. Like it was actually a board to manage, whereas in med school, like you're basically in one class. You have these other modules going on, like the research and what we call practice of medicine, but it's more focused. And so whereas in undergrad, your professors aren't talking to each other about like, oh no, you should have your test this day and I'll have mine this day, so it works out for the students better. Like they don't have that conversation. So I was just really excited to be at med school, and then there was a lot of other things going on extracurricular wise, which was a huge distraction for me. Like I wanted to just like be able to